it looks like we still have a few more minutes before we start. And so I want to thank you all again for coming on this call today. It's pretty awesome when you think about our speaker and what she's going to talk about today. Just for those of you who are brand new, may not know who I am, my name is Tonette Blum. I'm the Director of Sales for the West Region and Canada. And this is our third week in our training for taking your business to the next level. And what's really great about our speaker, I had an opportunity to meet her, such a magnetic personality, very passionate about nutrition and about health, and really has a very strong background. As a matter of fact, she's incredibly driven and focused. She was a former Division I swimmer and a triathlete. She's an entrepreneur and a gym owner. And just to be able to tell you just a little bit more about her, she has a really long-standing record in terms of executing strategies. Really excited because she's now signed on as part of our PM International Health Professional Program. So please, I want to introduce our speaker today, Kelly Sweetington. Sweden. I can't believe I did that. She is a KSF trainer and the founder of LFT Gym. Kelly?
Fun. I got it. Hi.
You got it. Yeah, can you believe it? We practiced on that, didn't we?
It's okay. It's okay. It's so much more. It's very simple, but everybody messes it up. So it's just fine.
Sweeten. Yes,
Yes.
I got it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on the call today.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. There are so many people in here. I am super excited to virtually meet you all. Typically, I do these types of seminars or kind of roundups in person. So this is a little bit different for me, but I'm excited. As you all know, you guys are here to kind of take your health and your nutrition and your wellness to the next level, and also bring that to other people and change lives. And so just a little bit about me. I opened up my first gym about 13 years ago. And I did that after getting my master's degree, and I decided I didn't want to do like the corporate thing. And so I wanted to change lives. That was really why I did what I did. So my background is in kinesiology and also nutrition. So I opened up my gym and then subsequently opened up more facilities, a yoga studio, kind of a wellness center. I'm located in Florida. And throughout that time, I found one common denominator when it came to fitness and kind of changing people's ideas about fitness. And that was the nutrition part of it.
No, go ahead.
I hear some feedback. It's okay. I know somebody's talking. So yeah, it was I was noticing that people really wanted to get the most out of their workouts and wanted to change their lives. They had all these goals, and they were kind of met with some like difficult challenges. They couldn't figure out why. And when it came down to it, it was because of the foods they were putting in their bodies and the supplements that they were taking. Either they had no idea what they should do, how they should eat, or how they should supplement, or they were just doing it all wrong. And so about 8 years ago, I developed a program where the idea is to create a lifestyle shift. And for you guys, that's the most important part of these products. We don't want, what we want to teach people is this is not a 1 week or a 1 month or a 3 month change. This is a lifelong process to achieve a healthy well-balanced, happy life. You know, we want to live to old age in a happy way, not in a unhealthy, decrepit way. So, so I started to think about what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. And I use several of the PM products religiously. They have been a game changer as far as how I feel in my day to day, how I feel when I work out, how I feel when I'm sleeping, how I recover. And so now it's just part of my routine. It's not something that I plan on changing in my routine. And so I'm going to go over how I use those supplements, and also pair them with food, and also then pair that with fitness. So there's 3, I believe, main components in health and longevity. We've got sleep. We want to achieve the best sleep. And so, you know, it's always been said 8 hours of sleep, that's impossible for many of us working adults, but we want to get good sleep while we're sleeping. Nutrition, the food and supplements that we're taking, and movement, fitness. And, you know, we know that fitness boosts our energy. We know that it helps with our brain power. We know that it makes us happier. But if you are going into a gym or working out every day and you're kind of spinning your wheels and you just don't feel good and you don't see results, ultimately you're going to end up kind of letting go of that, because when we don't hit goals, then it's easier for us to kind of put them by the wayside. So the number one, I think, most important thing to do when it comes to our week to week plan is setting a schedule. Setting a schedule when it comes to our supplementation, setting a schedule when it comes to our food, and setting a schedule when it comes to our workouts. So I do that typically on Sundays. Everyone's a little bit different. These packets are so useful when it comes to getting yourself ready in the evening for the next morning, and also getting ready to go to bed at night. So I don't want to have to do extra work. You guys don't need to do extra work to make it more difficult for you guys to get your supplementation in, or for you to coach somebody else on how to take their supplements. And it's the same with our workout. So I would say on a Sunday, I do a few things. And these, I think, are the most important things. I schedule out my week as far as what I'm going to do in the gym. And some of you may be, this may be redundant because you may know exactly what you're doing when you go to the gym. But even for those of you who fitness has been a part of your life, or those of you who have been working out for a long time, myself included, if I go in with no plan, nothing gets accomplished. And that's with anything. So I program for myself, I program for my clients, and I program for the gym members coming to the gym who participate in classes, a split of how the workouts are going to look from Monday through Sunday. And that's like a puzzle, you know, that's my profession, that's my job. And so I am going to make sure that we're structuring our workout so that we're doing posterior chain, anterior chain, core, you know, all the different things. We're getting enough endurance, we're getting enough strength training. Typically what I like to do is a Monday strength focus on our lower body, and a Thursday strength focus on lower body. So Monday, Thursday. Tuesday, Friday, the strength focus would be our upper body. So that could be your shoulders, that could be your back, that could be bicep, tricep. Wednesday, I like to do like compound, complex type movements, whether it be Olympic style lifts, which are not, they're not, you don't often see them if you go to like a big box gym. Typically you're going to see that in the one-on-one type training, but compound movements where you're doing like a squat press, you're combining your upper body and your lower body and core, a strong focus on core. And then I like to do some endurance on Saturday, maybe go for a bike ride and take completely off on Sunday, because Sunday is the day that I like to get ready for the rest of the week. So along with structuring how I want my workouts to look, I also know what I'm going to put in my body as far as food and how I'm going to supplement those workouts. So first thing I do in the morning when I wake up is I drink lemon water, and then I drink Power Cocktail. So lukewarm lemon water. I admittedly am very bad about hydration. Water intake is like it's just not the easiest thing for me, but putting these supplements in my water helps drastically. So I take my lemon water, I drink my Power Cocktail, and I have my like a very small breakfast. It's not, probably wouldn't even be considered a breakfast, of like a complex carb and a protein. And then middle of the morning is typically when I get my workout in. And afterwards, right afterwards, like within 30 minutes after a workout, I drink the Fitline shake. So the protein powder that we use is packed with nutrients. It's packed with our protein, our essential minerals. And it's really important after a workout to get your protein in within 30 minutes. So if you are going to a gym, but you're not going home afterwards, bring your protein with you, put it in a shaker. That is probably the easiest way to take it. And I also take the ProShape aminos, the amino acids. That's going to help you recover. From there, I'll eat my lunch a few hours later, because that shake is a meal replacement. So that's going to, I wouldn't suggest taking that shake and also eating a meal. So I'll eat lunch a few hours later. And then my favorite part of my day is the Restorate in the evening. And I pair that with the collagen. So with water, I like mix it up with one of those frothers, and it helps me sleep. Melatonin typically makes me dream weird dreams, so I don't love it. This has been a game changer for me as far as getting restful sleep and waking up feeling like I'm not drowsy. So that's how I those are the main 5. I'm looking at the products right now. Those are the 5 products that I use pretty religiously every single day. And I think that it's just important that you're making it easy on yourself. So before I go to bed tonight, I get out what I'm going to have in the morning. I have it ready. So that when I get up early in the morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, it's ready for me to be able to consume and start my day. So preparation, number 1, is the biggest thing. So we went through like structuring our workouts. We've gone through how to structure our supplements. And then I think, lastly, structuring some goals so that we don't kind of get stuck on this hamster wheel of dreaming. I think that it's really important as business owners and also as consumers to set some goals when it comes to your own health, and then also how you're going to help others with their health. So short-term goals within 1, 2, 3 weeks, a month, writing those down. Not just writing them down, but then also how do we reach those? And then also 3-month, 6-month goals, and a long-term goal, or several long-term goals. making sure that you have a plan. It's very, very easy when we start to goal set for our business or for ourselves to put those goals out there and then to like live in like goal setting dreamland. And we think about them and we talk about them, but we don't create any sort of plan to get there. So if our personal health goal, let's say our personal health goal is to exercise 4 times a week, you know, four 30-minute workouts a week. And we write that down, and that's a short-term goal. That's where we want to, that's what we want to shift in the next month, is we want to get 4 30-minute workouts a week. Then we need to think about how we are going to achieve that. What are the things that are going to help us achieve those 4 workouts a week? Is it going to be making sure that your gym bag is packed in your car every single day? Is it going to be having a workout buddy who holds you accountable, who you schedule some of these workouts with? Hey, let's meet at, you know, the bridge and walk the bridge, or, you know, wherever together at this time on this day. Is it hiring a personal trainer or a coach? Or as simple as joining a gym, which isn't always the easiest. You join like a big gym and then you don't know what to do. So I do think that there are specific ways that you can help yourself reach that. If that's your goal, movement, how do we reach that goal? So having a friend, having a coach or a trainer, making sure you're prepared with your gym bag, maybe buying a new pair of running shoes, because that always helps. But writing down that short-term goal, and then writing down the steps to get there, and then holding yourself accountable. So always revisiting those steps. Did I text my gym buddy, and is it on my calendar? Do I have my workout bag packed? This then leads into our again, our supplementation. So how am I going to make sure that I feel like I'm recovering after these workouts? And we go to the Fitline products. I mean, we're all here because we believe in these products. And so we go to these Fitline products to then help us reach those goals. So that's one way of taking these products and blending them with your fitness. The more that you're taking care of yourself, as far as your nutrition and your food, the more you're going to want to also be active and physical and exercise. You're going to have more energy. You're going to feel better. There is a distinct difference in how I feel when my nutrition and supplementation is on point and when it is not. And that takes a little bit of time to get there, but when you start to feel that difference, it's huge. So you don't necessarily have to start on the fitness side and then bring in the food nutrition side. You can start on the nutrition side and the supplementation side, and then you're just going to start to feel better because you're putting good stuff into your bodies. So, and then transversely, if you already are exercising, or you choose to start that journey, moving, fitness, however that looks for you, you're not going to go to the gym and work out and then leave the gym and want to drive through a McDonald's. It's counterproductive, and your body isn't going to want that. I think maybe sometimes like we have those cravings, but ultimately, like if you're spending that time and that money and effort and sweat and all of that to take care of yourself for 1 hour or 30 minutes in the gym or wherever you are, you're motivated enough to want to then make sure that you're getting good protein, good carbohydrates, good fats into your body, and that you're supplementing. We cannot get all of our nutrition just from food. It is almost impossible, especially for women. And that's what I want to kind of transition to that too, when it comes to men and women, but especially women, when it comes to our protein intake. It's really, really hard to get enough protein. It's hard for our men to get enough protein, but certainly women seem to struggle a little bit more. So you can eat all the like egg whites and chicken and cod in the world, and still it's a little difficult to hit those numbers. And so that's where that protein meal replacement shake is going to be very important, because it's going to boost that that protein intake by double-digit grams. So very important to do, especially if you start to look at what you're consuming. If you're starting to count those nutrients and track what you're putting in your body as far as your nutrients, you're going to notice that you're going to need one of those shakes. And so when I structure any nutrition program for any clients, I include supplementation in there, because it's very hard just from a whole food diet for us to get that. I think that obviously having whole foods is very, very important, but from the standpoint of, nutrition, it's nearly impossible. So let me see, what do I have next? I wanted to talk to you strictly on now on like how we are going to, because while I have my background in nutrition, I am first and foremost a strength and conditioning coach. So you guys have so much data on the products that you're using, and so I want to kind of shift to how we more specifically look at exercise. And hopefully that will help you in terms of what you take into your life for your fitness. And again, many of you might already be on a specific protocol and a plan, and that is absolutely fine. But I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I think it's important, and it's no secret that strength training is critical to your workouts. There is a misconception that we need to spend a tremendous amount of time doing cardiovascular movements, running on a treadmill, running outside, riding a bike. All of those things are great. However, as we get older and as we age, we need to be doing bone movements that work our bones, resistance training, so to offset osteopenia, osteoporosis. Nobody wants to fall and break a hip when they're 85 years old. So, so resistance and strength training is very important. You don't need very much for that. Maybe a pair of dumbbells, a band, your own body weight. Oftentimes you can do strength training with your own body weight. It's going to build lean muscle. It's going to increase bone strength, and it's going to prevent injury, in the present time, but also injury in the future. So there are all kinds of things that you can find on, there's all kinds of data that you can find online and programs that you can find online that give you simple like body weight workouts or dumbbell workouts. My number one thing when it comes to fitness coaching is to just focus on like 2 or 3 movements per strength session. So we're going to start on a Monday and move through the week. So for example, on Monday, we may do a hamstring glute movement. So you've got your posterior chain, the back of your body. The anterior chain is the front of your body. So posterior chain, you're going to work your hamstrings and your glutes. So that's a lower body movement, backside of the body. And I would pick 2 movements to do that. You can do reverse lunges, alternating lunges. You can do a deadlift. You can do front squats, Front squats are also going to work that anterior chain, your quads, but you can also do front squats. So finding that perfect rep range for those movements and supersetting them. And it's very simple. So you may do 10 to 12 deadlifts. And I want to revisit that movement at the end of this little part. 10 to 12 deadlifts, and then 20 alternating reverse lunges, increasing load, meaning increasing your weight but each set. And doing so in a way that still allows you to maintain your the integrity of that movement. I'm sure that y'all have seen like or have heard of just a bad deadlift where somebody's gonna, you throw your back out. It can be very bad. So making sure that you either have worked with a coach, you do your own research. There's all kinds of information that you can find online. And I know that there's a lot of bad information online, but there is good information on there too. So you're going to go through those two movements, your deadlift and your lunges for 3 to 5 sets. Spending as much time as you want, resting in between and going as heavy as you can, but that allows you to, like I said, keep the integrity of the posture. So I want to revisit the deadlift real quick, because there's always mixed reviews and people who will say that it's, I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to hurt myself when I deadlift. I'm a huge proponent of functional movements. Functional movements, meaning movements that you are going to take into life. So, for example, there's a movement called an Arnold press. The dumbbells come overhead, elbows come together, dumbbells overhead, elbows come together. There is nothing in life and nowhere in life that you see anybody doing that movement for any other reason than aesthetics in the gym. However, you're walking, you drop your keys on the ground. Let's say it's your keys. You drop something even heavier. You drop something on the ground. When you bend down and you pick up those keys, or you pick up whatever it is that you've dropped, and you stand up, that is a deadlift. Okay. So as I get older, I want to be able to bend down and pick something up off of the ground, pick up my grandkids off of the ground. I want to be able to sit down on a toilet and stand back up. It's as simple as that, a squat. I would like to be able to walk upstairs, lunges. My dog wants to go outside. I would like to be able to take something, doing dishes, and put it up overhead, put it in a cupboard. So presses overhead. Stick to movements that are functional in your life. So Monday, our split is lower body, posterior chain, deadlifts, and lunges, for example. And then after that, you're going to do your strength portion first, and then you're going to go into your conditioning. And your conditioning is as important as our strength training. It might be an interval style circuit. It might be sprints on a treadmill. It might be plyometrics, where you're doing stuff like box jumps and burpees and speed skaters and movements like that. That doesn't have to be any longer than 15 or 20 minutes. That portion of your workout. So you can get into the gym, do some dynamic warm up, do your strength in 15, 18 minutes, do your conditioning in under 20 minutes, and then, cool down, stretch, whatever you need to do at that point at the end. So that's our Monday. Tuesday, we would go to an upper body movement. So our biggest muscle in our upper body is going to be our back, also our chest. And then we've got our shoulders and our biceps and our triceps. So definitely don't suggest doing all of those on the same day. And I also don't suggest doing a push and a pull movement on the same day. So unless it's inside of your conditioning. So you have your bench press for your chest. You have pull-ups and bent over rows for your back. I would pick one of those body parts and really hone in on that. So if you're going to do a back day, you're going to start with a set of pull-ups. You might get a barbell out or dumbbells for bent over rows, where you're pulling up from the ground. And then you might do some like isolated smaller movements like rear delt flies, pullovers on your back, TRX is a great piece of equipment where you can hook to like your doorway, your door frame, or at home and do TRX rows. So, and then again, you would go into your conditioning again on Tuesday. Wednesday, like I said, we may mix in some compound movements, but it's going to be mostly core and some cardio and endurance. So giving your body a little bit of a break from Monday and Tuesday. You will be very sore on Wednesday from your leg day on Monday. That 2-day offset is pretty typical there. Thursday, we go back to legs. So whatever you did on Monday, you're going to reverse that. So we did deadlifts and lunges on Monday, and on Thursday, we would probably do front squats or back squats, leg extensions, working the front part of our legs. More conditioning. And then Friday, same thing. We switch what we did on Tuesday. So if we worked our back on Tuesday, we're going to work our chest on Friday. The importance of recovery in your week is vital. If we do not allow ourselves to recover from our workouts, your body, the muscles are there's little micro tears that are happening as you're building muscle, and you want to let those kind of heal, recover, and grow. That's how we build muscle. So really important to keep that in mind on your Saturday and Sunday. I like to load my weekends with recovery because I just like to take the weekends off. It's Monday through Friday is a grind as far as like hours working and fitness. And so Saturdays, it might be a walk or a bike ride, and Sunday is a full off day. That goes for nutrition also. Very important we cannot live in a calorie deficit all of the time. If you have there's certainly going to be times in our lives where we may have a goal that we want to achieve for something, a class reunion, a wedding, something like that. Like I want to get in the best shape of my life. And so we might give ourselves 6 or 8 weeks or 12 weeks to really like rein it in with the food, rein it in with the supplements, eliminate all the excessive stuff, cut out alcohol, fitness 6 times a week. Certainly doable for a short period of time. Not doable necessarily for a long period of time, and probably not good for your body or your psyche, which is most important. So if you are on a regimented schedule with your workouts and with your diet, it is important to give yourself what I like to call refeeds. I don't love the term cheat meal, but people call it cheat meal. But it is important for you to be able to go out to dinner with your family or celebrate somebody's birthday. It's okay to have that relationship with food. You should be able to go to a restaurant and make healthy enough choices. And you also should be able to splurge if you want to. I tell people this all the time in my business. If you walk 2 miles into the woods, you have to walk 2 miles out of the woods. So if you have one meal that is just like, you just send it with your cheeseburger and French fries and shake, not going to derail you. Okay. It's the same the other way. If you have one great day of eating and a great workout, also you're not going to wake up and be like, yes, I'm healthy. Okay. So it's time and consistency with our food, time and consistency with our fitness, time and consistency with our supplementation. There are too many products out there and too many diets out there, and then also too many fitness trends out there that come and go quickly. There is a reason for that. It's because they don't work long-term. So we're looking for like long-term gains, consistency, and results. I believe, and I've cycled through a couple of different, over the last 15 years, 13 years, I've used all kinds of different products, protein powders and amino acids and all the things. Ultimately, I've never aligned with any of them because they just weren't something that I was seeing benefits from long-term. I consistently feel the benefits of the supplements that I'm taking, the ones that we've already gone over today. And so it's exciting to be able to like continue to add products to my repertoire, to give these products to members in my gym, or to suggest them to friends and family members, because it feels good to feel good. So, yeah, I think that, that if you guys, set a plan for all three of those parts of your life, achieving your goals and feeling really good becomes very, very, simple. So do you want to, is there like a question answer, give and take, or is there conversation?
Well, what you can do is
Mhm.
if someone has a question, they can put it in the chat. I did
Okay.
have a couple of people that have sent me text messages and asked me, you mentioned breakfast. You said, first of all, and you're doing such a great job, Kelly.
Oh, thank you. I feel like I'm just like talking,
No,
but
no, you're doing, look, Wayne even gave you the thumbs up.
I saw,
Getting
thank
thumbs
you.
up everywhere. So this is great. The couple of the questions that we had, and we're gonna talk to you later because you mentioned several different exercises, and so some people who have not used to working out, they may not know those exercises. So we'll have to think about putting together, if there's someone who's a beginner, and someone who's middle, and then someone who's advanced in terms of what exercise that works. So we can work with you on that.
Okay.
But you mentioned something about complex carb for breakfast.
Sure.
So what's a typical breakfast or ideas for breakfast that work? Okay,
so human beings are not one size fits all. So that's first and foremost. And so there are certainly many of us who, I have a lot of people who like intermittent fast. So they get up in the morning and they don't eat anything. But for those of us who do, and I do, I wake up hungry and I want to eat in the morning. I have two go-tos. Number one, it is taboo to be afraid of carbohydrates. Like, we are human beings, and our body chooses carbohydrates as its main source of energy for a reason. When we start to force ourselves into like other styles of eating where we eliminate carbs, it's again not long-term benefit. It doesn't have long-term benefits for us. So for me, I like live and die by Dave's Killer bread, the cinnamon raisin bread. The brand is awesome. The story is awesome, but the actual product is really, really good. It's not filled with a bunch of crap. So the brand makes a cinnamon raisin bread, not the bagel, but there is a bagel. And I put one of those pieces of toast in the toaster, and then I use almond butter or cashew butter, about a tablespoon of that on there. That is what I eat every single morning after I drink Power Cocktail, and I eat that with my coffee. I don't even really call it breakfast because it's very low in calories. It's like a pre-breakfast. It's early in the morning, typically like 5:45 in the morning. So, but I'm hungry. I'm not so hungry that I want a full meal, however. So I will start typically my day with that. Another great option, if you're waking up at like 7:30 and making yourself breakfast, eggs are fantastic. You get a ton of protein and good fats, and eggs have been like a source of back and forth for many, many years on whether they're good for us or they're bad for us, or they are good for you. They are very good for you. I wouldn't suggest eating 10 whole eggs in the morning, every morning, but certainly having 2 eggs, however you want to have them, some avocado, half of an avocado. That's a great breakfast. You've got good fats, you've got good protein, and oatmeal. Oatmeal is a beautiful way to start your day. Or like that's what I have after a few hours. I bring it with me to the gym, and I actually eat it cold. So you can make it as like overnight oats. For me, I make it in the morning. I heat my water up first, and then I add the oats to it because I don't like them super mushy. I put a tablespoon of peanut butter in the oats, like mix it up so you get some protein in there. Or you can use almond butter also, and some blueberries or a banana, half a banana. And I'll have that usually like around 9. So I have that toast and almond butter early in the morning. And then I have, or eggs. And then I have the oatmeal like mid-morning. So those are the 3 go-tos for me. You know, you want to stay away from high glycemic types of foods, meaning simple sugars, not complex carbohydrates. So really, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is like a donut. You know, there's carbs there, but you're filling yourself with sugar. You're going to ultimately have like a sugar drop. There might be, when you look at macronutrients, if you look at the macronutrients of a donut, it may have the same carbs, the amount of carbs as my toast does, but the effects that you're going to get from the glycemic level and the sugar level is going to make the rest of your day feel terrible. So you want to stick with low glycemic foods, and you typically want to do that throughout your day also. So like eggs, fruit is often a point of contention with specifically bodybuilders, because fruit is this like sugar, right? You have natural sugar in fruit.
Sure.
There are so many benefits when it comes to our fruit, and eating it. There are fruits that are better than others, and there's times of day that we should be eating fruit versus other times of day. So berries are like always on the list of go-to. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, like eat them. They're good for you. They're packed with antioxidants, very, very good for you. Fruits like grapes, pineapple, those are really, really hot. Those have high glycemic levels. And so those are like a dessert kind of. You kind of want to stay away from consuming a ton of that. And certainly if you do it before the middle of your day, like don't do it late at night, right before you go to bed. So those are my go-to as far as my morning time food. I'm a creature of habit when it comes to food prep though, and how I eat during the day. So I typically eat the same lunch every single day, and I'll switch it up every couple of weeks because that gets boring. And it's really very simple to prep your food like twice a week, typically on like Sunday and Wednesday is what I like to do. And I'll usually stick to like a lean ground turkey, something green, and a good carb like a sweet potato or a brown rice. Now, anything in mass quantities ends up being not good for us. So if I eat 300 grams of ground turkey and a cup of rice, or 2 cups of rice, that's too much for me. So knowing where you're, how much you should be eating, and you can find people, I certainly can help. You can find those numbers and figure out those numbers based on your height, body weight, and activity level. Those things are pretty simple to find also online. And you also start to eat intuitively. So I very rarely measure my food anymore, because now I can kind of look at it and know how much I should be eating, and also feel how much I should be eating. I eat until I'm full, and then I stop eating. And I think it's important that we as human beings have that intuitive style of eating, because it's hard to constantly measure our food. That becomes no fun and very redundant.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. here's what we'll do. We'll take 2 more questions.
Okay.
I think that there are a couple of them online.
I'm going to see.
The one was asking about aminos. So this is because I think you mentioned you do your aminos after. So I think they just want to know exactly when to take aminos. And then the last question that I got, unless there's something else and you can put it in the chat, someone was asking the question about protein and what is it beneficial to have protein? What does that do? So it's the aminos and the protein. Okay.
So you do not, and I'm looking at this aminos question in the chat also. If you don't exercise, amino acids are still essential to our bodies. So you still should be taking them. You don't necessarily need to take them in the same quantity. I like to take my aminos after my workout and then before sleep. And I do that because as soon as I consume the aminos inside, same with that protein. And like when I said, I want you to have your protein inside of like 30 minutes to an hour after your workout, your body is searching for the fuel to go to the muscles that you just used. So like it wants everything. And I'm not just talking about your like your hunger. You will be hungry too, but your actual muscles are wanting to grow, and they need protein to do that. So that's where the protein comes in. Typically, the way that you come up with the number as far as grams of protein that you eat in a day, usually like bodybuilders, high-level athletes are eating 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is where they're at. Not what I would suggest for somebody who's just starting this journey of like nutrition and fitness, because protein is hard to digest. So you'll end up like super bloated. If you don't drink enough water, it's just uncomfortable. You'll sweat at night because your body is working so hard to try to digest that protein. So I usually start people at about 0.5 gram to 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Easy to do that math. So like if I take my calculator out, if you're a 130-pound woman, let's say, you want to have 91 grams of protein a day. That's pretty simple to get. You can get that for sure. Your protein shake has probably 20 grams of protein in it. Eggs are super packed in protein, especially if you're just doing like a liquid egg white. Your ground turkey has protein. Your collagen, the collagen beauty is packed with protein. There's protein in that. So when you I want to look at what, so you're getting, if I put 2 scoops, you're getting an extra like 3 to 6 grams, depending on how much you use of protein just before you go to bed at night, just by drinking your collagen. So protein helps build your muscles. Amino acids are going to help recover. And even if you do not work out, like I said, they're still essential to feeling good. So, and I think that was,
was it. And then these are the last questions, but what we'll do is Kelly is going to be working with us.
I am.
Right. And so what's great is that you'll get an opportunity to hear her, to ask questions and be able to get some answers. She is definitely a leader in this industry. That's one of the reasons why we have wanted to have her as part of this team. And I didn't mention in your intro that she is a mother of 2 beautiful children.
Yeah.
Well, how old are your kids?
Joshua is 11 and going to be 12, and Katie is 9, going to be 19. She's like such a diva, but Joshua is on a super, like, he's hitting that age where he's like really into playing football. He wants to like eat all the protein and work out every night. And so, you know, he's been seeing that his whole life, but still, like, I look at all these products and they're
Great for him.
they're so good for him. So, even at 11 years old. So yeah, they're 11 and 9 and
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, the two questions we're going to end on is, Debiana wanted to know, is it better to train in the morning and the evening? And have you had, I'm sure you'd have had the chance of using our Active Eyes.
for the skin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. Is that right?
I know. I feel like I'm looking for all the things to reverse age, right? Like, I just want to keep turning it back. I have Active Eyes. I do use that. Yes, that's my answer to that. And I think that anything that helps skin, hair, like I'm sign me up for it. Working out, I think, is, when you work out, is up to you. There is not a better morning or night answer. Like, some people just love to go to the gym at 5:30 in the afternoon after work. Some people are super early morning risers, 6 a.m. I like to be able to like wake up, consume some food, like let my body wake up. I'm like a mid-morning type worker outer if I can. There is benefit to working out fasted. So, and really the only way that you're going to, and there's benefit to that if you're looking to lose weight. Like, if there's a tremendous amount of weight that we're looking to lose, working out fasted is beneficial. Typically, if you're going to work out fasted, that's going to be obviously early in the morning, because you don't want to like fast until 3 o'clock in the afternoon and then work out then. So most of my like 5 a.m.ers, 6 a.m.ers, the one, even 8:30, the ones that are working out at those times in the morning with me, come in a fasted state, meaning they haven't consumed food. If you drink Power Cocktail in the morning, your body is technically not in a fasted state anymore, because you've put some calories into it, but you're gonna tap into your fat reserves rather than the food that you've eaten beforehand. So that there's a benefit there. But honestly, when it comes to fitness and movement, my message is always do what makes you happy. And if you're moving and you're sweating, 3, 4, 5 times a week, like, I don't really care when you do it, just do it.
Let's do it. I know.
Yeah.
I'm definitely an early morner. I've told people before, I'm much nicer with a good morning workout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here. And then the other question was, you mentioned about the aminos before going to bed.
Yeah.
So do you want to kind of go into explaining?
Yeah. So you want to make sure the aminos specifically, the ProShape amino specifically, you can take before bed, because it doesn't have sometimes aminos that you drink or that you find at like a vitamin shop or a GNC also has caffeine or other things in it. So if you're taking something else, you want to be really careful of that. If you're simply taking ProShape and it's just the amino acids, there is no caffeine in here. They aren't going to like make you, some stuff will make you like tingle. It's not going to do that. For me, my aminos are simply to help me recover, and at my recover, so I'll take them right after the workout, but then I also want to take them when I'm resting. So I drink a ton of water with it. Usually I drink the Restorate with the collagen, and I'll take 2 more aminos, and then I'll have another glass of water. You want to drink a bunch of water with your aminos, and then you rest and you let your body recover from your day. That works for me. Play around with how much you're consuming. I think it says 6. Yeah. So I didn't start with 6 originally, and I don't take 6 all at one time. So I do split it up, and I think that's where I feel the best. But certainly, like, it takes a little bit of time to figure out how much of a supplement works for you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kelly.
Yes, thank you.
Give you an applause, and we can't wait to have you back on. So thank
Yeah,
you.
for sure.
Next week, we have another great speaker. Alex Grandpa is gonna be our speaker for next Wednesday. So for those, I'll see you on Thursday. We'll be here, of course, for our Tuesday and Thursday call. But Kelly, it is such a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
For all of that great knowledge.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? This is the time we can make our dreams come true. So take care, everyone. Have a great
Thank you.
Bye, Kelly.
Bye.